And I'm back by popular demand. All right, y'all. Welcome back to my Black Romance Book Festival 2026 recap. This is part 2. Said I was going to do 4 videos because I have a lot to say and I had a lot of fun. So we start on Saturday. Saturday was Saturday-ing. We started the day in the line for signings, and I got there just before 8:30, but some of y'all were there at 7 a.m. and earlier, and my question is, did y'all sleep at all? All right, so once I got inside of the ballroom, my first stop was grabbing my pre-order, Better Than Okay from Jacinta Howard. She is really sweet. Then after I picked up my book from her, I went to go and see J.D. Southwell and picked up Strangers No More. This is the final book in the series, and I had to have it. All right, now before we go any further, can we talk about the girls? Because shout out to all my book cousins and book babes. Y'all was really coming through on these photos. Like, I didn't have anybody with me, so y'all were always willing to help whenever I took a picture with an author or if I took a picture by myself. It was always somebody willing to help. I don't know how many people took pictures for me this weekend, but thank y'all, for real. And another thing, everybody smelled amazing. Love a Black woman from infinity to infinity. For real. All right, so at some point I wandered over to the tiny tassel, and baby, they got me. Because look at all of these beautiful items on this table, y'all. I left about $80 lighter. $80 lighter, y'all. And I just picked up 2 pairs of earrings, but they are so beautiful and handmade, and I absolutely love them. I don't regret it. Now, one of the highlights of my day was a panel featuring A.E. Valdez, Alexandra Warren, Evelyn Latrice, and Nia Forrester. And this ended up being my only panel of the day. They were talking about imperfect female characters and whether readers are sometimes harder on FMCs than they are on male characters. And y'all know Evelyn Latrice was cracking me up. She was hilarious. But honestly, all 4 authors made great points. And you know, one of the things that stuck with me was the fact that female characters don't have to be perfect to deserve love, grace, or happily ever after. And I must say, Robin did a really great job on this panel. I think all of our panelists were like prepared. Come on, journalist. All right, so after the panel, it was right back into signing mode. I picked up The 6 Loves of Ebony Jones from Therese Clark. I've been seeing that book and that book cover everywhere, so I had to get that. Like, off the cover alone, I'm sure the book gonna slap too. And y'all are gonna keep hearing me talk about signings because there was a signing room on one floor and then there was a different signing room on another. The signing room that was on the top floor had more authors, and you know, it was just bigger overall. The one on the bottom, not as big, but still, you know, it was some heavy hitters in there. Now, we took a break for like 2 hours. Then there was a signing at 2 o'clock, and people were already lining up around 11 a.m. I needed a break. Apparently some of y'all did not. Y'all was on y'all Energizer Bunny all weekend. I knew when I got into that signing room at 2 o'clock that Z. Renee and Evelyn Latrice were must-see authors. So I went to Z. Renee first, and I got Troubled Water, and then I went to Evelyn. I had to tell her she was showing out on that panel. I wasn't able to get watercolors, but I did grab Falling Into Gravity and Tangled Hearts. Then I made my way over to Bailey West for my pre-order. If you've been following me for any amount of time, then you already know how much I love the Metamorphosis series. I picked up Serving Time, which was one of her books that I have not read yet. Then, y'all, I had to go stand in line and get my pre-order for Joliet from Ray Lease. Now, y'all weren't playing about Ray Lease. Like, her lines stayed jumping like all weekend. But she's another one of my favorite authors. Then I had to stop by Tara Shelton Harris. Look at her beautiful setup. You know, I just actually finished Where the Wildflowers Grow, and baby, we gotta talk about it. But one thing that I really wanted to do this weekend was to discover some new to me authors. So I stopped by Kay Shanae's table and basically said, put me on, tell me what I need to read. And I ended up leaving with a whole entire series. You know, before the day was over, I also had to stop by and see Tati Richardson. And first of all, she is so gorgeous. I was sick because I left my copy of Struck Speechless at the house. Now, by the end of the day, I had books, I had some signed books, selfies, some new book cousins, and some sore feet and a sore body. Come back for part 3.